Yatizai.
Yatizai.
What's going on, bro? Let me talk to you, man. Huh? What's going on, bro? Talking to my bro over there? What's good?
I was talking about this guy named Spinoza, right? Albert Einstein. He just talks about one consciousness, right? How God is in everything and in all of us. And so what I was saying was that as long as you believe in something, that's all that matters. Like whether my girl is Islamic,
Muslim.
yeah. I'm Christian because my family's Christian. You got people that are Buddhists and all kinds of shit, but this is the same kind of concept. So as humans, we have the tendency and need to have to believe in something, right? Something bigger than ourselves, right? And so we cling on to things that we can agree with. So that's why I say, whatever religion it is that you're with, it's the same. Like if it's holy, then it's good, right?
I mean, that's kind of subjective, don't you think? Because you said your girl's Muslim, you're a Christian, and you guys don't have any issues. You guys don't discuss
Two different traditions with it.
That's my point. So you guys are together as a couple. You believe in two separate, necessarily ideologies, quote unquote, and you guys don't have any issues, right? You guys don't discuss anything that conflict and.
We don't engage in, like, I'm not that much of a Christian, obviously.
But you believe in God, though.
I believe in God,
Christ.
and I choose to follow Christ. Like, not in that deep sense, but I mean, I believe in the message, like love and understanding and compassion, which a lot of other religions, even like Indian people, right? They believe in Krishna. I mean, there's three different gods and all that. And there's like all kinds of many gods and stuff. But it's just a manifestation of like you gotta have. People tend to, like, for example, Santa Muerte, right, represents death. But how do they express that with the skull and all that extra shit? So people tend to manifest, like, if I they tend to attach characteristics to an idea and put a face on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's the purpose of following after a deaf deity, if you want to call it that? What's the benefit in that? A deaf deity. Because Santa Muerte is a quote-unquote deity. You're putting a skull on your body or putting a sacrifice in front of it or whatever the case may be. We were just talking about that. Your boy, you were just talking about that. Yeah. He follows that same kind of ideology. But what's the benefit of that, though, in reference to his people, like a collective of people?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too keen on what that situation is, but
I'm just saying, just the idea of it. If you say, "Oh, I worship death," like, whoa, like, wait a minute.
Well, I mean, death is a part of life. They both go hand in hand. You can't have life and not accept death.
I agree, but I'm saying, worshiping that concept, though.
I believe in reincarnation. I believe in. So I take all the religions and I accept the things that I feel are.
You agree with it?
I agree with, right? So like,
how does that work with
reincarnation,
Christianity?
like we're all energy, right? And we all, so obviously we came from a source. We're energy. We came from a source. So I believe that when you die, you go back to where you came from. It only makes sense. And I believe that you also come back. Now, our body, our physical body and our minds, those are two different things.
Exactly.
They're separated from
that's what the Bible says.
Different.
That's exactly what the Bible says. But every religion doesn't teach that.
And then karma too. I believe that, like, maybe if I reflect on my life, why have I gone through all of this? And it just, so like, I think Buddhism says that you keep coming back until you learn to be that perfect person. Not that perfect person, but you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
More
change your behavior.
Right. So in that sense, like it's kind of like a curse where you just keep coming back until you actually get it. I don't know. It's just my ideas. I don't.
I ain't gonna lie. You're right, because the Bible talks about all that stuff.
This is just me, like just, I don't know where I get it from.
But that's the thing, though. You reference something that it kind of conflicts with what you just told me. You're saying you're taking all different religious concepts,
right?
But you just told me you're a Christian. Though that's a separate thing. If I go up to a Muslim and say, "Oh well," like they might agree with certain stances you just told me. I agree with what you just said for the most part. Almost everything you said just now, I concur because that's what the Bible talks about. We don't necessarily agree with Islam because Islam disagrees with certain aspects of the Bible that we teach. You know what I mean? So if you're taking bits and pieces from different ideologies and cultures and quote unquote religious texts, they don't all agree with each other. You know what I mean? I believe that Buddhists believe reincarnation. We would consider it regeneration. You're regenerated on here. If your soul, which is your consciousness, which is what you're talking about, your mind, it's your consciousness, is different from your spirit, right?
Yeah.
When we die, our spirit goes back to the source. That's what you're saying, and I agree with that. So what you're saying in reference to you're taking bits and pieces from everything else.
I think that we're all here for a reason. So when we do go back, if we haven't did what we were supposed to do, we come back. You know, this world evolves, but it only evolves with us.
Well, I believe if you believe in a source, what particular source do you believe in though? Because
I can't tell you what God is. I can't. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna read the Bible and say that's God or read the Quran and say that's.
Why do you identify with Christianity then? Because that's a particular ideology.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a family thing. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that.
I'm just picking your brain. What's your name?
My name's Irvin.
Irvin. Ayash.
Ayash.
Yes, sir. It's a Hebrew name. But I didn't want to cut you off. I just want to get your name so I can address you properly. But you said it's a family thing. Your family brought you up under it, which is what most of our people did. My mom was a Christian.
And it's not even that serious.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
It just, if I had to choose something, that's what I'm going because that's all I know.
That's what you're familiar with, exactly. So, like I said, when I asked you first earlier, you're a Christian, but you're with a quote unquote Muslim. Is your girl Hispanic or East African?
Salvadorian.
So, she's from Sudan.
Yeah, she's actually from there.
Yeah. And most of them are Muslim as well, but some of them are Christian over there too. Like Ethiopians, Somalians, Djibouti, those are all the same people. Eritreans, those are all the same people in that landmass on the East Africa, but some of them are Christian as well. So I'm just saying though, if let's just say we talk to Muslims all the time, and we ask them questions like I'm asking you questions. Like, so you're not necessarily deep into the doctrine of the books that you prescribe to or you believe in. But my point is, at some point in time, when you start learning and you read the Bible, and you go and you turn to Islam or turn to the Quran and read their text, they're going to say something contrary to the text that you prescribe to, that your family prescribes to. You know what I mean? So where's the
contradiction in the Bible?
Well, no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
So what do you guys read?
We're the Israelites of the Bible. We believe we are the people of the Bible. Literally.
You are the people of the Bible?
You
guys are Israelites?
We're Israelites.
That's the first time I mind if I sit down.
Yeah, move over there. You from out here, brother? You from out here? Yeah. Okay. You got something?
Yeah, I had a question. If you say your lady, she's a Muslim?
Yeah, she's from Sudan.
Is her family a Muslim?
Yeah. They fasted like a couple months ago.
Yeah,
Ramadan, yeah.
Yeah. Do they know they're all together?
Nah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing though, because in Islam, a man can marry women that's Jewish or Christian, the people of the book they say, but a woman can only marry a Muslim. So that's how I was going to ask you.
She talked to me about that, like if like.
You basically wouldn't be able to meet her parents, tell her that you're a Christian.
That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you straight up right now.
But I tried to study the Quran when I was in jail and stuff, so I learned a few things.
Well, let me tell you, man. There's so many holes in the Quran, like for real. There's so many holes in the Quran, and we can prove that it's a lie. You know what I'm saying?
It's tradition. I agree though. Like, sometimes people try to take advantage of. They try to do what they want through certain avenues. Like they use the Quran as a way to get away, to justify their actions and stuff. Like men out there that have multiple women, and they try to justify it by the
that's
Quran.
That's a cultural thing though, and that's in the Bible too.
They try to say that.
That's in the Bible too.
Oh, for real.
King Solomon is a figure in the Bible. He had 1,000 wives. But that's a cultural thing.
You believe that he had 1,000?
That's what the Bible says, yes. Why wouldn't I believe that? David had multiple wives. He didn't have 1,000, but he had a lot of wives. But he was a king. He had equivalent to billions.
Did the Israelites come before Judaism?
I mean, Judaism is an ideology. That's not a culture. That's what them white Jews over there practice, Judaism.
Right.
We don't practice Judaism. We practice the laws of Moses, which is the commandments of God. That's it. That's a cultural thing. Give me that in Deuteronomy 33 and 4 real quick. How much time you got, brother?
Got a little bit of time.
No, nice. No, all praise. I'm learning you something. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Where are you from? Like ethnically?
Oh, I'm Salvadorian.
Salvadorian, this brother too. You know what I mean? That's all praises. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 33 and 4.
Uh-huh.
Moses commanded us a law,
Moses commanded the Israelites a law. Read.
even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
Yeah, all 12 tribes of Israel, which you're on this sign actually. Where you at? You're right here. These Zebulonites. You was Zebulonite, Central America. You know what I mean? Panama, El Salvador. What's that?
Somebody got that on the flyer.
Yeah.
Like weeks ago, I came by and he gave me a flyer and I looked at it and I.
Oh, okay. You did stop by before. Okay.
I was reading like, yeah, United States.
Yeah. Like I said, that's just a modern on this side of the earth. You know what I mean? Because our people are still in Africa and Asia. And we've been scattered and we've lost our culture. Like I said, the heritage of the Israelites are the laws of God. That's what distinguishes us amongst everybody else in the world. So, like you say, you claim to be a Christian or a follower of Christ. Christ kept the laws of Moses, the laws of God. You know what I mean? So, our stance and what makes us be drawn to the Bible, outside of just the literature aspect, is the prophetic word. You know what I mean? You familiar with that? Prophecy, right? So how do we know that quote unquote blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans on this side of the world are Israelites? We would go to the prophecy, the history, the archaeology.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how you prove the Bible's real. The Quran don't have no prophecies in it. The only prophecies it has is the ones that they stole from the book. Because it came, 600 years later. You familiar with that? The Quran came 600 years after the Bible. So there's certain things that's written that were already here.
Right.
So let's
You guys saying that you're the original people of God, right?
We're the people of God, the children of Israel, the Jews, the Israelites, you as well. You'll be a Zebulonite,
Right.
whether you believe it or not. Like I said, you can leave today and never come back, and that's not a problem with us. But we're doing our job in just educating you and maybe planting the seed.
We all come from Africa. Do you think that
Israel.
Like we all came from Israel and spread out or something?
Absolutely, it's in the Bible. Like I said, and like I said, if you know, like I said, we're gonna get there. I don't want to jump the gun too much, but the prophecies and the archaeology of your people, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayans, the people of Central America, they all have Hebrew ancestors and archaeology that go back to Israel. Because you guys are Israelites, you know what I mean? Go ahead. What I call for it? Yeah, give me that. So let's talk about your tribe, Zebulon. Let's prove it with the Bible, then we're gonna go to history to pair with the Bible. Go ahead.
Genesis 49 and 1.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Yeah, all the 12 patriarchs were getting the prophetic word from their father. That's what happened in the last days. The last days meaning what? Thousands of years later. And they gave them characteristics, you know what I mean? Spiritual characteristics and locations that they're going to be able to tell these people are the people back in this particular time through their lineage. Read.
Verse 13. Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
Zebulon is what your people, your forefathers is called Zebulon. You know what I mean? This is going to dwell at the haven of the sea. So pull up the ancient map of Israel. We're going to look at an ancient map of Israel, and we're going to compare it to what is said here in the Bible and see if it matches. And it's going to prove that it's talking about a future event. You know what I mean? Give me that. Come closer, brother. Let me show you this real quick. So Zebulon is right there in the middle of the land, landlocked. It's not by the sea, right? The sea is way over here. It's right in the middle of all that land, all the other tribes over there in Israel. So this prophecy says what? Zebulon is going to dwell as a haven of the sea. But this can't be happening at this particular time, back in the ancient days. It's not by the water, right? But keep reading. It's going to get more specific. Go ahead.
And he shall be for an haven of ships.
A haven of ships. What's a haven of ships? What's a haven? A haven is like exactly like a place for all ships to dwell and be safe. But when you fast forward to the modern times, this we would say, since we're saying you guys are what? The Central Americans, what's over there in Central America? No. Well, I'm saying in reference to this particular detail, a haven of ships. What's the haven of ships in Central America? Panama Canal, right? They built it.
Not only that, when I touch on it, like in El Salvador, just in El Salvador, we got 3 ports. Nicaragua got like 2. All through Central America, they got so many ports. That's why the Salvadorian president right now is calling for all the unification of all Central America, because they know if they do that, they'll control the Pacific and the Atlantic seaboard, because there's so many ports, and the most important one, the Panama Canal. Like right now, the president's trying to call for all 7 countries in Central America to unite and make their own financial bloc.
Exactly.
Yeah, you talking about the big one and shit?
Huh?
Yeah, BRIC.
Well,
BRIC nations.
Yeah, because the BRIC nations is the ones that's fighting against the American dollar right now.
Yeah.
But the president of El Salvador is thinking, yo, we can call all of our Central American countries together, and we can rule pretty much the whole seaboard of Atlantic and the Pacific, and they would have to go through Panama. So, you know what I'm saying? The ships. And that's touching on the prophecy that they're going to be a haven for ships.
Right.
And that's how you prove it, because when you go to the ancient map, there's no ancient seaboard or haven of ships in ancient Zebulon.
Right.
Go ahead.
Get out. Khan, and his border shall be unto Zidon.
His border's going to be on the what?
Unto Zidon.
Go back to the map.
Got it right here.
You hear that, brother?
Yeah. We go in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not a problem. I want to show you something. What's that?
You'll see me around again? All praise.
Yeah, let me show you something
I
else real
see
quick.
you all the time. I work out here too. I see it.
Read that again.
Khan. And he shall be for an haven of ships,
Uh-huh.
and his border shall be unto Zidon.
Zebulon's border is going to be on the Zidon. Zebulon is down here. Where's Zidon? Way north it is. Can you see that? Yeah, Zidon is right at the top. So it can't be. That can't be talking about that. What is this talking about? Fast forward when the indigenous people, when your ancestors came over here.
Right.
Who's Zidon in the Bible? Zidon would be quote unquote Africans, Canaanites. You familiar with the Olmec heads? You familiar with that? Olmec, the Olmec heads. Yeah, show them that, because a lot of people, there's a bit of a, huh? Yeah, the Phoenicians. There's a bit of that's found in like the tip of Mexico, the south of Mexico, in between Mexico and Central America. They found them Olmec heads. They're like, oh, those are us. Those are quote unquote indigenous, quote unquote Mexicans or Aztecs, Mayans. No, they weren't. Those were Africans. Those were the people of Zidon, the Phoenicians. Because you study the history of Phoenicians, they were seafarers. They were the first people to travel the ocean thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? It talks about that in 1 Kings, the 10th chapter, when Solomon joined up with them to have them send ships over here to get gold and rubies and certain animals, things like that. Go ahead.
And there's also archaeology that's pointed to that too. They found a stone in Brazil called the Pareaiba stone, and it's pretty much it's a stone inscription about how the Phoenicians got their fleet was destroyed.
Yeah, shipwreck. Yeah, they got shipwrecked.
Their fleet was destroyed, and they were praying unto their goddess Ashtaroth and Baal, and they. That's when they used to just come and grab riches and go back. You know what I'm saying? And they said that they found an inscription in Brazil, right? That they were shipwrecked out here.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Now this is 1 Chronicles 12 and 33 of Zebulon, such as went forth to battle, experts in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000 which should keep rank. They were not of double heart.
Yeah, that's why El Salvador is going crazy right there. They're experts in war. They're killing each other, even out here. You know what I mean? Mexicans, Colombians out here.
That's the murder capital.
But facts. Everybody thinks America's bad. Like,
But every day people get murdered.
you been out there?
Nah, but my family, they go out there and shit.
It would be very dangerous for you to go.
Yeah, I know, that's what they don't want to take me.
Right?
Yeah, they don't want to take me.
And also, touching on that, when they said they were experts at war, like my family, like a lot of my family came up here due to the Civil War in the 70s and the 80s, right? And you got a trip because they said they were experts in war. These people fought against the Salvadorian government that was backed by the American government that had an air force. right? And when they first started that war, they were fighting with pretty much World War I weapons, World War II weapons, and then later on they started getting Russian weapons through Cuba and everything. But they fought them to a standstill. A government or military with the damn Air Force, bro. So that's touching back onto the physical blessing that that blessing that they said that they're going to be experts in war.
Right.
That's right. And that's just, like I said, the character traits that the Most High put on the tribesmen to carry on this side of the earth, you know what I mean? So those are just a couple of things. You good, brother? That's just a couple of things that point out, in reference to your particular tribe, that proves that the Bible is our particular book, our ancestors' book. That's just your tribe, you know what I mean? There's plenty of other tribes that we can go into, the historical references, the Hebrew artifacts they found in Puerto Rico, the Hebrew artifacts they found in Brazil, like he said, Bolivia, Mexico, even the, pull up what we just found in Mexico. You know what I want?
Which one?
The archaeology they found in the caves in Mexico?
Yeah.
You good? All right, bro. All praise. I'm gonna show you what they just found in Mexico like a couple weeks ago, in a cave in Mexico with this symbol on it. Where'd they get this symbol from? This quote unquote Star of David.
That's,
okay.
It's a lily, but they found well, that's
It's another one.
it's a Mayan, right?
This is
that
a
in Mexico?
bro. This, no,
not this one. Not
This
this
is
one.
this is in like Guatemala. Look, what do you see?
Looks like it. Yeah.
You see that earring of the chieftain?
Yeah, is it a star?
Top of this.
Yeah,
Why is that?
because they're the people of the book. They're the Israelites.
Who? War Israel?
This is our symbol. This the Black Hispanic Native Americans.
We are.
They didn't make this up. They got this because their ancestors are from Israel.
Got it.
Show them that.
This one?
Yeah, show them. Look, brother. They found that in the caves in Mexico not too long ago.
It's crazy.
How do the Mexicans know about that if they're not the people? And there's a literal city in Mexico named Issachar. What's that say at the bottom?
Right.
Mexicans are Issachar. That's their tribe name. Why is there a city in Mexico named Issachar if they're not the people? It's right there. That's just simple.
Definitely gonna look it up. And
You know what I mean?
do all that YouTube stuff.
Yeah, you got a flyer, right? You say you got a flyer?
What?
You got the paper, the flyer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube, there's plenty of information, bro. You know what I mean? We out here every Saturday. If you work out here, like I said, you live out here, we out here every Saturday, 3 o'clock to whenever. So if you have any questions, have anything you want to talk about, we all here. You feel me?
Drop 5 for sure.
Definitely. Appreciate it, bro. It's all good. You got something? Yes, sir. All right, bro. Stop smoking cigarettes, too, man. That's killing you, man. You don't need to smoke no cigarettes, bro. Don't kill yourself, brother. We love you,
All right,
man.
man.
Thank you. Thank you guys for that.
Right.
All praise to the Most High. And repent, brother. Keep the laws of God.
Right.
And separate from that heathen, man.
That's promises.
That part. That's the main part. You can't even be buddy with her parents and her family. 'Cause they probably hate your guts. Exactly.
Yeah, because